Bienvenidos a la ciudad de Panamá. Welcome to Panama City. Hoy vamos a tomar uno de los vuelos más largos del 737-800, yendo de la ciudad de Panamá hasta Córdoba, Argentina. Estaremos despegando con el máximo peso permitido por las capacidades del avión. So we're going to be taking one of the longest 737-800 passenger routes from Panama City to Córdoba, Argentina. We are going to be at maximum takeoff weight. We will be departing from Tocumen Airport, runway 3 left. So here's our gate right now, and we'll be, like I said, we'll be taking a quick taxi over to 3 left and heading out to make a right turn to start heading south towards Argentina. La salida va a ser por la pista 3L. Aquí estamos estacionados. For Córdoba arrival, we're going to be looking at runway 19er. We'll be coming in, obviously coming in from the north, exiting taxiway Charlie and going straight to the terminal. La llegada en Córdoba será la pista 19 y aquí saldremos de la pista en Charlie directo al terminal.
Document ground, Copa 501 request taxi to the gate. Copa 501 taxi to gate 144 using taxiway Sierra for Sierra 701.
Okay, we'll go over the checklist. Haremos las listas
Taxi to
y
gate 144
vamos a
via
arrancar.
taxiway Sierra for Sierra 701 Copa 501.
Pre-flight checklist. Oxygen tested 100%. Navigation transfer and display switches are normal. Auto window heat is on. Pressurization mode selector set to auto. Flight instruments. Initial heading 35. Current altimeter 1015. Parking brake set. Engine start levers cut off. Pre-flight checklist complete. Before start checklist. Flight deck door closed and locked. Fuel pumps are on. Passenger signs. On. Windows are locked. MCP set. Takeoff speed set. CDU pre-flight completed. Rotor aileron trim free and 0. Taxi and takeoff briefing completed. Anti-collision light on. Before start checklist complete.
Cockpit to ground. Go ahead.
Document ground Copa 738, could you please disconnect the jetway from the aircraft?
Roger that. Ready for pushback. Tail to the left. Release brake, please. Brakes released. Brakes released. Here we go.
Starting engine number 2. Number 1.
Pushback complete. Parking brake set. Brake set. Steering pin is pulled. Watch for the salute and release from guidance on your right. Have a good flight.
Before taxi, generators on, probe heat on, anti-ice off, isolation valve auto, engine start switches continuous, recall checked, auto brake RTO, engine start levers idle detent, flight controls checked, ground equipment clear, before taxi checklist complete. Before takeoff checklist, flaps 10, trim 4.50 units, before takeoff checklist complete.
Document ground Copa 738 request taxi for departing straight out with India.
Copa 738 taxi to and hold short of runway 03 right. Contact tower on 129.8 when ready.
Document ground Copa 738 requests runway 03 left.
Copa 738 taxi to and hold short of runway 03 left. Contact tower on 118.1 when ready.
Taxi to and hold short runway 03 left Copa 738. Document tower Copa 738 at runway 03 left ready for departure straight out departure.
055 at 6. Departing straight out approved. Cleared for takeoff runway 03 left.
Cleared for takeoff runway 03 left Copa 738.
Okay, looks like we're going to have 6 hours, 5 minutes of flight time. It's about 16:30 Zulu, almost here in Panama City. Current ETA is 2236 Zulu. We're going to be covering 2,668 nautical miles. Estamos esperando unas 6 horas 5 minutos de vuelo para cubrir las 2.668 millas náuticas de Panamá hasta Córdoba. Takeoff. Stable. Toga. Thrust set. Check.
V1. Rotate. Positive rate of climb.
Gear up. Flaps 1.
Document Tower, Compa Tree 0 Tree, 11 miles southwest inbound, visual runway, 0 Tree left approach. Compa Tree 0 Tree, Document Tower. Altimeter 29.85, wind 055 at 6. Cleared visual runway, 0 Tree left approach. Compa 7 Tree 8, leaving my airspace frequency change approved. Cleared visual runway, 0 Tree, left approach, Compa Tree 0 Tree.
Flaps up.
Document Tower Copa 7 Tree 8 frequency change.
After takeoff checklist, engine bleeds on, packs auto, landing gear up and off. Flaps up, no lights. After takeoff checklist complete. Retracts off.
Compa Tree 0 Tree, wind 055 at 6. Clear to land runway, 0 Tree left.
Okay, so as many of my fellow simmers can understand, a lot of us have real day jobs. So I'm off to work now and take care of some other things, family. And I will resume the video when we're descending into Córdoba in about 6 hours or so. Bueno, como ustedes saben, los que practicamos la simulación, tenemos cosas que hacer en la vida real. Yo me voy a trabajar y hacer otras cositas y volveré ya cuando estemos en descenso a Córdoba en unas 6 horas. Entonces por ahora hago la pausa y nos vemos en 6 horas.
You are 18 miles 50, climbing flight level 350. Avianca 1451 Córdoba Center, continue as planned.
Bueno, estamos de regreso. Ya a 50 millas náuticas antes de llegar a Córdoba. So we're currently 50 nautical miles from Córdoba, passing through 7,700 feet on our way down to flight level 36, so 3,600 feet. Just going over the last checks here. For descent, I already entered our landing altitude for Córdoba, which is going to be 1,650 feet. Recall is good. Our auto brake is set to 2. We will be landing at 151 knots, including the wind correction. Still expecting winds out of the south for a landing on runway 19er. And we're actually already on a straight path to runway 19er. We've been heading 185 for quite a while now, so a pretty interesting routing in that sense. And I talked about the approach briefing earlier when we were taking before departure. So again, still runway 19er. The terminal's right in the middle, by the middle of the runway, so we should be able to brake by then and exit very close to the terminal. We'll get our altimeters here from the weather forecast, or from the latest weather in other words. So here's what I was talking about. We've been on a very southerly heading since crossing into Argentina from Bolivia. Almost a straight line to the airport. And currently the airport in Córdoba, we're looking at great visibility. Winds are still out of the south. Currently 16 degrees Celsius, dry humidity, and 10-3 on the altimeter, so I'm going to change that right now. Altimeter 10-3. Estaba diciendo que el tiempo en Córdoba está excelente. Mucha visibilidad. Los vientos siguen desde el sur. Y estaremos aterrizando en la pista 19. Y con eso terminamos nuestra lista de aproximación.
2500.
So approach checklist complete. Our initial flight time was about 6 hours 20 minutes, 6 hours 25 minutes, but it really has been cut down by 20 minutes, so we should be 6 hours, pretty close to 6 hours, or just over 6 hours by the time we land. Right now we're at 5 hours 50 minutes since we left Panama. Hemos estado volando 5 horas con 50 minutos. La previsión estaba para un vuelo de 6 horas con 20, pero va a resultar siendo 6 horas.
Caution, terrain. Too low, 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 terrain.
I probably descended a bit too quickly to 3,600 feet, but we'll probably get this warning for a few more minutes. Descendí a los 3,600 un poco rápido, y esta advertencia creo que va a durar unos minutos más, pero ya llegamos a Córdoba.
Too low, terrain. 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 Too low, terrain.
We already have a runway in sight.
Cordoba Tower Copa 738 is 16 miles north, 3,600 feet with Gulf to land.
Flaps 1.
Copa 738 Cordoba Tower. Altimeter tree 0.20, wind 156 at 12. Make straight in runway 19er.
Make straight in runway 19er Copa 738.
Flaps 5. I have control. Flaps 10. Gear down.
Copa 738 wind 156 at 12. Clear to land runway 19er.
Flaps 15.
Clear to land runway 19er Copa 738.
Flaps 25. Flaps 30. Landing checklist complete.
Glide slope.
Landing.
50, 30, 20, 10.
Speed brake up. Reverse green. Manual braking. Okay to clean up.
Alpha 738, turn next taxiway. Copa 738 contact ground on 121.75.
121.75 for Copa 738.
Shutdown checklist. Fuel pumps off, propane off, hydraulic panel set. Flaps up, parking brake off, engine start levers cut off. Weather radar off, shutdown checklist complete. Secure checklist. IRS off. Emergency exit lights. Off. Window heat. Off. Packs. Off. Secure checklist complete. Bienvenidos a Córdoba. Welcome to Córdoba. Flight wound up being 6 hours on the dot. El vuelo duró 6 horas exactas desde Panamá. I mentioned earlier we took the 737-800 passenger jet on its maximum range with a full payload pretty much. We departed with the maximum allowable takeoff weight for the aircraft. So, estaba diciendo que usamos el 800 lleno de pasajeros y carga, el peso máximo para el despegue, y duramos 6 horas exactas para llegar a Córdoba. Well, as always, thank you for watching and hope you enjoyed this flight. Como siempre, les doy las gracias por ver estos videos y que hayan disfrutado de este vuelo. Hasta la próxima. We'll see you next time.